know the song, right?
Classic.
Yeah, New York classic. All right, Steve, we ready.
You ain't from New York? Ready?
I got shooters.
Hey, yo, let's get it!
Turn my mic up. Turn my mic up. Turn my mic up.
Go ahead. That shit sound awkward as fuck.
Hey, what up? Welcome back, guys, to Hunt Club Podcast. This is episode 16.
16 of them things.
I got Austin to my right. Here. I got Mike to my in front of me.
Hello, world.
I got special guest Brandi. She's back with us to my left.
What up?
What up, Brandi? We got Steve on the audio. We got Dwayne back on the video. What's up, guys?
What's cracking?
Shit. You good?
I'm good.
Till
Can't hold
75.
you
got
to
that-
stop drinking
It went down.
because you're not thinking.
Nigga, stop.
I bet you sober up when them shots singing. Shout out to Cassidy on that one. I
Was
stole
it
that.
Cassidy?
Let's bring it in, guys. Let's bring it in.
All right, cool.
So we got One Train, a classic, that New York classic, that head bobbing outside the bodega shit.
Whose album was that on?
That was on
A$AP,
ASAP
right?
shit.
Yeah.
What's your favorite verse on that one?
I think, who's his name? The dude with the missing tooth?
Danny Brown?
Danny Brown.
Danny Brown.
Danny
Yeah,
Brown
I like
was on
Danny.
that?
Danny Brown was on it.
Danny Brown.
You didn't hear
See,
that
you
shit?
say you
Everybody
know.
was on that fucking
No.
song.
I know who the dude with the missing tooth is when you reference fucking ASAP
He
Rocky.
got his dick sucking on stage.
That is
Remember
real
that?
shit.
That's real shit.
Definitely real shit.
But yeah, One Train, Danny Brown, ASAP Rocky. It was 100 people on that motherfucking. What's the fat white dude?
Action Bronson.
Action Bronson.
I've never
was
heard
on
him
there.
rap.
He sound like Ghostface.
That's what they say.
It is. It's just Ghostface, white guy,
Like-
fat guy.
Yeah, niggas on cooking shows now.
My favorite
Right.
part, Kendrick Lamar. That was before people really knew who he
That
was.
was Prince Kendrick.
Yeah, that was K Dot. What was it?
K-Dot, that was K-Dot.
Section 880 or whatever it was, and
Right.
yeah, he killed that.
That was
shit.
K Dot with the motherfucking fade and shit.
Damn
Right.
right, the boosie face.
Right.
Small
The
ass
Boosie face.
head.
So you
The
know what
fucked
else?
up teeth
You
and
know what
shit.
else he killed though? That Power guest star. He was
He
on
did.
Power last week.
He did. Wasn't he
Yeah.
like a Pookie or some shit?
Nah,
Like a deep Pookie.
he was way cooler than a Pookie. Pookie was like a straight fiend. He was like a
He was
a
like
highly
Pookie
articulate.
2.0, yeah.
Yeah,
like
He
a
was
really
like millennial Pookie.
He was
Yeah,
a more
yeah,
gutter.
yeah,
He was
I
more
like that.
gutter. He was a woke Pookie.
Yeah.
He was
That's
because he was
That's
woke
it.
as shit. He
That's
was
it.
saying like
Yeah.
some woke ass shit.
So he was like Pookie that dropped out in 4th grade when original Pookie dropped out in like 2nd.
And
Nah,
this-
this the Pookie that went to college. Like he was spitting
Yeah.
some pro black
He-
woke
and
shit.
He went to Dr. Umar University.
My thing is when I first saw the picture of the character that he was playing and shit, I'm like, I get that he's a junkie, but where did the half hit cornrow half?
I think they let him
know.
freak that shit because that's looked like some shit that he just was getting his hair braided.
Did he have the full junkie look down?
Dog, he was look like a straight crack. I was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna do my nigga Kendrick like that, man. This K Dot, the top
Especially
rapper
when
in the game.
The shooting scene happened and the guy got, shot in the head.
The
And
Spanish
so,
dude?
Yeah, like brains
Oh
all
no. Oh, the
Yeah.
other guy that got killed.
Yeah, other guy, like brains all splattered on your face, blood, and then you're eating chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to the people that
So-
haven't seen this episode of Power, by the way. We're sorry.
My favorite part
Catch
of
up.
it is my favorite part of Kendrick's performance is that like he perfectly portrayed that crazy guy that kind of makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can almost see where you're going, but you're kind of out there.
Shout out to Rafiki.
What the fuck is Rafiki?
Nigga
From
from
Lion
Lion
King,
King?
nigga?
Yo,
I mean, I know
Yeah,
Rafiki.
man.
I thought this was a character or some shit.
Rafiki is a character.
Yeah,
He was the
what?
crazy smart one.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
makes
okay. That was
Damn,
kind of a
bubble
reach.
y'all head
That
and
was kind
shit.
of a reach.
Nigga,
But
Rafiki was mad.
I was at a
Show
reach.
Simba his face, his
But yeah.
face and shit like that.
shout out to
Makes
Kendrick
sense.
for that performance. I'm looking
Shout out to
forward to
Rafiki.
that next episode of Power. That shit's lit. It's,
And he
it's getting
actually
better
had
now.
Kanan think for a second,
Right,
which
yeah.
was, to me, said a lot because Kanan didn't have a problem killing his own son, but he double
wasn't
backed
his son.
about
Yeah.
killing
Well, Sean
him.
wasn't shit.
so.
There was that he was pussy.
Well, so I mean, a lot of people been going at Power for like the writing. Is it coming together
This was
now that
probably the
Kendrick?
best episode by far.
Like,
How do you guys
ever?
feel about this?
I know it's
season?
by far this season.
the season definitely one of the best episodes.
I think it's fine. I think that you put too much expectations on things, you know? So you have to remember, like, how far they are as far as, like, seasons-wise and what they're trying to do to make things interesting. So it's not going to come the first episode. You're gonna have to get midway into things in order to really see how things unravel and then start connecting the dots with stuff. So even though like the first episode you're like, it was bullshit, but then you start connecting the dots and then start thinking about shit like,
I was
shit,
a couple
well, this makes sense or that makes sense.
Seasonal
So
arcs to it. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, but we do wait a long time. For it to
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
as well. So the anticipation grows, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get people like, this
Think we need
episode
more
was some
episodes?
bullshit.
Like, if you're gonna like linger out the whole plot, and those first couple episodes are just gonna be things you need to pay attention to, not really interesting. Like, Nick, give me 15, 16 episodes.
Right now,
then.
if you're waiting a year for one of your favorite shows to come back on, I mean, people are going to be like, first episode, I waited this long, I waited for this shit. I don't want the plot to thicken and shit, because that means, in addition to the year that you waited, you gotta wait another month or two for it to really get juicy. And people
could lose interest.
Yeah, people lose interest. But I just heard that the writing wasn't as good. I saw the Raina super small casket and shit. I saw that part, and people was giving power shit for it. So I ain't really.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but it's like
I don't want
that's,
to
to me, that's like
it's
just
solid.
yeah, like, but that to me shows how much people are so intrigued and into the show that you would really like look at the measurements of the casket and say a child of her age couldn't fit in there.
Like, you digging way too
like
deep.
you really
it's definitely a
knew
TV
how
show.
tall Raina really was. Like you really saw Raina in real life. Like y'all motherfuckers don't know Raina. Like she's not the kid next door.
Right.
But that's also because you have this connection with the character versus
you're invested.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this deep of a dive into
Raina
power
coming
and
back.
shit.
It's shit. I still fuck with
how were you guys' weeks? What did you guys do this week? Well,
Traveled from the West Coast.
Exactly. Came back in
All
to
day, all
bless us
night.
again. Thank you for coming back.
Oh yeah.
You've been
That's
asking
fun.
about
I need
you.
a fresh jersey when you come back next time for the third time. I need a Lonzo jersey. Straight.
You want a
cap.
Bron jersey?
Fuck off. I need a Lonzo jersey.
That's big news. Two Lakers fans in the
Yeah, we gonna get to the Lakers in time. Mike, how's your week? What have you been doing this
I
past?
was out last episode because I got my wisdom teeth removed.
Is that what happened? I heard something else.
All four.
They sitting there.
That shit fuck you up. I thought it was
yeah.
tough, but
I heard wisdom teeth aren't that bad.
nigga, that
You
shit
just
had me
pussy,
out
nigga.
for
Your
fucking
wisdom
5
teeth
days.
just came in.
No, bitch, they were impacted down bottom. See, they had to like cut them and then take them out the bottom. Yeah,
That
some
West
shit
Side
like-
Dental Plan.
You damn right, nigga. You fucking hard rocks and codeine. That's all. they gave
Mike
me.
is used to being compacted down bottom.
First of all, blank and salt that shit.
Oh, so what have you been up to this
I don't
weekend?
know. Oh, shut
What
up.
have I been up
Fuck
to?
you, nigga.
Are you drunk already?
No, fuck you.
What am I doing this weekend?
So what have you been up to this past week?
Shit.
You drunk too?
Weeks fly by, man. There's nothing
That shit
that's
run
too
together
crazy.
when you get older, right? All the way.
You
shit
get
is
older,
blend
every
together.
day feels like a Monday. You grumpy as shit. You fucking hate work. So
Have you hit your 30 peak? Remember we
Nah.
talked about that?
He hit his
Austin's
30
probably
peak.
the
Austin hit
oldest.
his
He's
30
the
peak like
youngest.
5
I think
years
he's-
ago.
Austin's
About 5
the
years ago, he hit
youngest-
his 30
He's
peak.
30 in his
He's
soul.
yeah, I don't do that shit no more. Like my bedtime now is like legit 10 at the latest.
Oh,
Nigga,
yeah.
you
I fell
go to sleep
asleep
at
in a
10
chair
o'clock?
before. Hell yeah, I fell asleep in a chair before. What else?
Do you wear sweatpants with no pockets in them?
Probably. I hate kids and shit. Like I've definitely hit my grumpy old man stage. So I wouldn't even say 30. 30 was 5 years ago. I'm hitting into my 45, 50.
Stage.
So you didn't do anything this week. That's what you're telling us.
Crossword puzzles and naps.
He left out our.
Sit at
he left-
home, rub his balls.
Yeah. That shit sound like a good ass
Watching workout
weekend.
videos and shit.
He
sound like a
left out
perfect
our
weekend,
movie
man.
date though. You didn't talk about our movie date. Austin was at the crib. We watched. We put on
He
Acrimony.
forgot. He's in.
Yeah.
he's,
Bad
oh, that
man.
Y'all
movie
niggas
is
did not
crazy.
watch Acrimony.
Me and
together.
Austin sat in the house together and watched Acrimony.
Was it just
I call
y'all?
it-
Was the kids
It was just
around?
us.
The kids wasn't
It
around.
was
none of
Juan.
it?
It was Juan involved too.
Nigga, what the fuck?
Unintentionally, Juan was involved with this.
This sounds terrible.
That
We-
movie's crazy.
I call
I
it
watched
acronym. First off,
acronym.
Yeah, I
Is it
can't remember
Acrimony? Am I
It's
pronouncing?
Acrimony.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're right.
I can't remember the name. So are we going to dissect that movie because I know it came
Yeah,
out.
We're gonna
God.
speak
older.
about it
No, we're
because
not.
we watched
Fuck.
it. We watched it and we were rolling. Like at first, I was like, because I think is it a movie just to make you hate men?
Nigga, I think y'all should speak
As a
more to
woman,
your
I
fucking-
wouldn't say that. I
It's a
mean,
men are
for me,
trash
I
movie.
thought that
Yeah. It's
the
trash.
the character that Taraji played it's insane. I thought she was
Fucking
crazy.
psychopath.
Yeah.
Irrational psychopath, by the way. She
Y'all
got a
can
$10 million check. You still chasing after that
No.
nigga?
That's how I
was
felt.
like
I mean,
the
I could see why she was upset about some of the other stuff, but at the end of the day, like, you got to your breaking point and you don't want to be with him no more. you know. But he still took care of you. Like, it's a lot of dudes out there that they're not going to do anything. They're going to be like, I got this check. You don't want to be with me anymore. We have a divorce. Fuck you. Right. I'm getting this money, and I'm on to the next. And so, like, with him, he apologized, you know, so he'd had that closure. He gave her a check.
Bought her mama house back.
And not like a little check. Like, he could have just gave her like 10 grand and been like, I'm done.
He didn't owe her nothing. He didn't owe anything. The amount,
yeah.
I think he should have gave her something because she did invest.
Out of goodwill.
You know, that is true. But I think because she stood by him for so long, you know, it wasn't like 5 years later. It was like
she asked for the divorce. Did you watch the movie, Mike?
Fuck no, I ain't watched no game.
You ain't a real nigga?
Mike can't watch Tyler Perry movies in this household. But go ahead, continue.
But like, it's
you don't back Tyler Perry.
I don't, but go ahead.
He gave you the money, you know. He like, you got a car, you know, you Gucci.
She was whipping the Audi while she was following his ass with a $10 million check in the glove
back. That was the crazy part.
The writing was wild, but yeah, that was
but that's
funny.
Typical Tyler Perry. I mean, the shit's all over the place. I mean, Why Did I Get Married Too is a prime example, like, of how the writing just goes every.
What I need to know is fucking y'all two niggas get together, and your first option is fucking a Tyler Perry movie?
The first option was it Ready Player One, and then we watched.
We weren't working.
We watched
with
Akron.
Because
I kept hearing about it on Facebook. All this, you team this or you team that. Who right? Who wrong? I'm like, let me just see this shit.
Just look it up.
No, you gotta see it. The shit is
crazy.
It's
a Tyler Perry movie. The man is shit, and the women won.
I'm just surprised nobody caught AIDS in it. That was probably the biggest shocker is that nobody got AIDS at the end.
How the fuck you get that?
Tyler Perry always giving somebody AIDS.
That's very true. The man is shit. Somebody has some
Janet
sort
Jackson
of
got AIDS and Colored Girls.
For Colored Girls only. Yeah.
For Colored Girls only. The light skinned girl.
Then he threw the baby out the window. That was the fuck. Who the fuck?
Wild. The light skinned girl and from East Bayou got AIDS at the end of her movie.
And then Temptation. Yep, AIDS is the way to go for Tyler Perry.
So why she ain't get AIDS? Okay.
That's why
That's your rationale. Stay faithful or AIDS. That's it.
Well, no, they wrote an article about that too, though. I think it was like BuzzFeed wrote an article that people are starting to see that Tyler Perry's reaction to those that sin, whether they cheat, lie, steal, whatever, is AIDS. And I'm like, yo, it's people out here that actually have AIDS.
Right,
Nigga. This is not no magical type of punishment that you just came up with.
Sinner's disease.
Yeah, it's like a sinner's disease, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked
especially
up.
When you know, a lot of his movies are based out of Atlanta. I know they try to like connect the movies to the audience and stuff like that, but I'm like, that's kind of fucking disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like the AIDS patients, like
one time maybe, nigga. It can't be a repeated theme throughout your films is AIDS.
Oh,
that should get people talking.
You a bad boss, you get AIDS. Oh, you cheated on your wife, you get AIDS. Like, what the hell? Whatever.
Everybody get AIDS.
AIDS. That's crazy. But
next,
right. So, y'all done talking about AIDS?
Fuck yeah.
All right, so a lot of shit dropped this week. As far as music, we got Astro World, Travis Scott drop, YG. Really? You on the West Coast, only fuck with YG. 400.
Oh, man,
that extra shit.
Do you listen to YG?
Not really.
No. Okay.
First of all,
she the West Coast girl, so I think she listen to YG.
But I live in South Lake Tahoe, okay?
YG
so
run all West Coast.
That's
anything west of the Denver, that's all YG.
YG is not coming to any of my summer concert series, okay? We have Kenny Chesney, Fish,
don't let
Keith
him pull
Urban.
Up.
He might pull up on you.
I mean, the closest that we have to hip hop is Pitbull, okay?
Oh my God! So that's not.
But
y'all like Mr. Worldwide? Don't disrespect.
I fuck with Pitbull actually, but also the drop was the In My Feelings video, the Drake video that dropped. After the
Are we doing a dance today?
I think it's done. I mean, that was part of my point. What I was getting to, I think it dropped really late. Like after the Shiggy challenge, after everybody's done listening to that shit, then you drop the. Where you going, Austin?
Gotta take a shit.
You gotta take a pee break.
You gotta doo-doo.
Ask nobody.
I mean,
but after the Shiggy challenge dropping, everybody's tired of it, and you kind of got that fatigue from the song. Then he drops the video, which is 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I enjoyed the video. Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, my first impressions was kind of. I mean, it was kind of Drake pettiness going on with. You gonna make Lala Kiki?
Her name is Keisha on Power.
Is that what that is from?
I mean, that's the connection I made when I first heard it.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, because
I just got Drake is just a petty nigga and he's put Carmelo wife in the video. I mean, made it Kiki because Kiki had nothing to do with the video. Kiki was in there when he was throwing rocks at the video. Then she popped up at the end.
Nigga, Lala.
It was really just about the bounce shit, huh?
He charging her for a cameo.
Well, we know that Lala is not going to be bouncing, so.
No, she passed that now.
No, she's too old.
I don't think that she ever could though.
But yeah,
I think she's a beautiful woman, but I can't see her like just twerking ever. Like even back in her MTV days.
I have some 06 King magazines that made different.
right. She's past that. Her wholeness is deleted.
That's
we talked
true.
about this.
Let's forget that.
Talked about that? Yeah,
we talked about it. You talked about it.
But I feel like you're right. It did drop kind of late. I wasn't a fan of the I'm Upset video.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I never watched Degrassi. I would prefer this video to come out before it, but I don't think he knew it was a hit.
Yeah. They had to kind of piece it together because you can kind of tell watching the video that Shiggy wasn't part of the original shoot, and they kind of had him doing his own thing, dancing in the bus and shit, and then they shot the end late, like at the end when he was like the stagehand or the assistant that was getting him out of the trailer. Like, all of that was kind of pieced together.
Right.
Because they weren't expecting this shit to really take off like that, or,
Because he was
that just shows the power of
like,
social media, though, and how it's free advertisement. I mean, even though Drake, blessed him, but you kind of look at, like, what he got and then what Drake got off of it. And it's like,
nowhere close.
It's like, minor.
I got the feeling like it was like,
Was it 250?
It's not even.
It was allegedly because Shiggy made a video pulling up on Drake.
That was a troll video.
I mean, of course, it was a troll video, but it's like it was like he heard the rumor too. Like, I ain't get this $250,000, nigga. Where the money at? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the impression I got from him, is that he didn't really get that money. I think Drake had to do something for him, though.
I mean, if you put $1 million in God's plan and you ain't give homie like no love, come on.
Well, nigga, you get a cameo in my video, you get the shit, you get to dance around.
He was on ESPN, like you get cameos on other TV.
You got verified, nigga. That's about it.
You're welcome.
Right. Bye. But that's all we got for the In My Feelings. Austin, what's your take on it?
I don't know. I'm just I'm always down for a movie type video.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of like the Michael Jackson days. He used to come out with the movie videos.
Yeah, Drake's gonna give you that. He gonna give you production value.
Yeah. So the quality was great. But I don't know. Like I was kind of like you said, at this point you're kind of over the song now. Right. So like I'm less invested into watching an 8-minute video when I don't like, when I'm tired of hearing the song. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad was in there.
She can still get it.
I don't know about that.
I'm just joking.
But
no, you weren't. But no, it wasn't. But no, I mean, more power to him. I mean, you got to make. I'm pretty sure the viewership of YouTube when a video comes out, that's another check.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get So
in an hour,
you getting money off of it. So why not? More power to him.
It's like a Will Smith or Fresh Prince Summertime video. Like, that's what it reminded me of, like that song Summertime.
It gave you the Summertime vibe?
Well, because it just was,
because Summertime
of
is
course,
timeless.
Like,
that's like
exactly. But I'm saying like new age, because you see a lot of videos now and all they're doing is popping bottles in the fucking club, girls twerking, where this was like more fun, energetic.
Right. Substance to it.
Yeah, and it was common people. So it was the same people that you see walking down the street,
Shout out to
bouncing and stuff. Yeah,
Bounce
so
music.
it just kind of gave like that organic feel.
Yeah, he had a lot of the local, big players in New Orleans. I think Big Frida was in there.
Mm-hmm.
The what is it, the City Girls? Are they from New Orleans? The
They're
girls
from Miami.
From Florida. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Big Frida was in it. Shit.
But no,
they was on Bourbon and Canal most of that time. Paying homage to New Orleans and that bounce scene. So shout out to Drake for that.
Yeah, I mean, and to go back to the Summertime song, it was a song that little kids could sing.
Yeah.
With their parents and stuff like that. Because my daughter was singing it, and it's not vulgar,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a catchy song, and it transcends any type of
Drake
age.
Know what the fuck he
doing. Yeah, you know what he's doing.
Like,
I don't think he knew that song was gonna blow up.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah, Shiggy definitely played a major part in that shit blowing
Then
up.
Odell did the shit, and that.
No, not Odell.
Nigga, Shiggy did it, then Odell did it, and then it blew the fuck out.
It's all Shiggy. It's all Shiggy.
This nigga hate Shiggy.
But
Shiggy is a mastermind.
He is.
Right.
Talk to LeBron. I don't like him.
I just want to drop that shit before we move to our next topic.
One more time. I need to hear it again.
Talk to LeBron. Talk to LeBron. I don't like him. He whack.
And with that being said, let's move on to LeBron James.
We
always got to show some hate on LeBron before we show him some love. So we're going to show some love to LeBron real quick.
This is like the Drake, I hate LeBron / Jay-Z podcast. Can we just rename it to that?
Yeah. Oh, and Charlamagne. We're going to get to him, too.
Y'all hate Charlamagne.
I do hate Charlamagne. But go ahead. What are you saying about LeBron?
I don't hate LeBron either.
You hate LeBron on the court, but we're going to show love to LeBron because he was showing love off the court. He just opened a school, I promise, for third and fourth graders. And man, he's doing the Lord's work out here in Akron.
It's free tuition, free uniforms, free bicycle and helmet, free transportation within 2 miles, free breakfast, lunch, and snacks, food pantry for families, GED and job placement services for parents, guaranteed tuition to the University of Akron for every student who graduates. That's fucking amazing.
That's crazy. Let's give a round of applause to Bron.
Shout out to the Lake Show.
Shout out to the Lake Show.
So he is not a Lakers. Can we stop that?
He is.
Before we get into a whole Lakers, let's give his.
Well, let's finish talking about.
I want to hear this.
He got triggered immediately.
Let's finish. Let's be positive. Before you start
I'm not gonna hate on LeBron.
Man.
Just say he's not a Laker though.
No, he is a Laker.
He's not
a Laker great because he's never played a fucking game.
He's the greatest Laker of all time.
He's a Laker
But let's talk about his school. What he's doing for the community. What he's. So just
shout out to Jalen Rose who did it before him.
Damn, y'all really just gonna
We're
hate
gonna give props to LeBron, not Jalen Rose.
I'm giving props to both.
No, but Bron opened his school, and I think I think he was inspired from his childhood and what he lacked in schools growing up. I think it's only for 3rd and 4th graders because that's when his parents really made his education a priority. I think that's what he said, and so it's for 3rd and 4th graders, and it's expanding to different grades. But it started with 3rd and 4th because he said that's when his education became a priority. And like the shit that they're giving out, like Mike said, free transportation, free like GEDs and job placement for parents. So he's taking care of the parents as well. Like that's some shit we need like everywhere. Like so hopefully this is like the foundation or the inspiration for school systems nationwide to kind of.
But not even the school systems. I think is eye opener for other athletes, and even though other athletes they were doing it before just with like foundations and stuff like that. It's an eye opener for like I think Derrick Rose now is doing scholarships for college.
Shining the light on their other charities.
Not even shining the light on, but to start other charities like LeBron. It gets paid a ton of money, probably more than a lot of other athletes. But it's kind of making other athletes show up. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like in
put
other,
your money where your mouth
put your money where your mouth is, and making it seem that it's not cool to buy a bunch of cars and be the flashiest athlete in the club anymore. He's making it cool to give back to the communities because that shit is dope.
One thing you can always say, even though I think Kobe is better than Bron, because that's what it always goes back to. Off the court as a human being, his character and his integrity is unquestionable.
Right. No doubt. Like we hate on Bron just on the court.
On the court shit strictly.
Yeah, he's a stand-up role model. Perfect dad. He's at all his kids' games. Like he's never been in trouble with the law.
Quavo at them games too.
Shout
out to Quavo. But
you see the little boy that did the bow and arrow in Bron face that he hit the 3?
No.
It was like some kid that was playing against Bronny's team. Like he didn't jade Bronny, but he shot the 3. He knew Bron was there, so he slowed up, he pulled up, shot the 3, and did the bow and arrow right in Bron's face, and then walked back.
That's kind of funny, nigga.
I'd probably do the same shit too.
But I mean, my hopes from what he's doing is to not only set the standard for other athletes to give back, but to set the standards for our educational system because you want our kids to have top-notch equipment, books, don't have to worry about eating, don't have to worry about transportation to and from school, want them to have a safe environment. So
you want them to focus on the academics.
Exactly.
Like, not have to worry about where they're going to get their next meal from, how they're going to get there.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's less than 250 students in the school, which I think is really important because they can have that individualized attention and mentorship that they need. Yeah. And not only are there kids in the community, but they're kids that have shown that they need that extra help. Right. And so you're taking them out of the situations that weren't so ideal for them and then showing them that people really do care. Because a lot of times in school, a lot of kids that need the special attention get overlooked. Right. So I feel like they'll really have a chance to be inspired. And it looks like the staff is really engaged and involved. And I saw a lot of brown teachers, which, those kids might not see. So they have somebody that looks like them that's probably from their community, because I'm sure that they probably got pulled teachers from the Akron area to be a part of the school. And I like the mantra that they have, like, for the school and the things that they recited, like, I am great, I will graduate. Those type of things, like, kids aren't doing right now. They're not saying every day in school, but you want them to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Exactly. You got to stand your hand over your heart.
They're not saying these things to really encourage them to be better, for themselves, for their family, and for their community. So I think that he's doing a great job.
Yeah, it's all about affirmations too. So that's basically what it is. That like, instead of conforming to the Pledge of Allegiance and reciting the same thing that doesn't really give you any self-confidence and doesn't build your self-esteem and doesn't affirm how great you are.
And has no meaning for you.
Yeah,
you don't.
It just indoctrinates you with the whole
you
patriotism idea and
you
shit
turn
like
into a robot. But on with Bron's school, what he's doing is building self-confidence, self-worth, and then also these kids, 3rd and 4th graders, they see that idol, that hero, telling them to stay in school, and they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody says. If it's an athlete compared to a teacher, people are going to go with the athlete because they seem cool, or you know what I'm saying? So
more relatable,
relatable, cooler, somebody that they could see themselves and want to be like. So when they're seeing LeBron and they're seeing not even them having to say the affirmations, but everything that's on the wall, it's kind of like it's being ingrained into their minds to be great and to strive for that excellence. So that's dope as hell. I can't.
And the shoes was cool too.
Oh, he got shoes
too.
So he has 240 of his shoes on the wall. So if you look at the picture, you'll see like the shoes on the wall. Every student will get a shoe. And then they're going to actually auction off the shoes, and then those proceeds will go to the school as well. But they're all like his like worn game shoes. So cool, just cool things. And I think that the school will do well. And then, you know, these kids, they're going to be more encouraged to give back.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You know, to see others, you know, graduate and do well and perform.
Hopefully they definitely they take advantage of the opportunity given to them.
Jordan couldn't be outdone though.
Jordan like he did what?
He did the clip. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the thing. That's the domino effect that you kind of want to see in black athletes is that, you know what I'm saying, kind of be. Let's not be competitive as far as who has the biggest house, who has the biggest car, but let's be competitive or who can give back the most.
I was surprised that Jordan even came out though, because from what I've heard, that he is a philanthropist, but he does not like for his name to be out there. So he doesn't want for people to know the work that he does and the activism. But I think that, like you said, with LeBron coming out with the school and whatnot, it kind of probably encouraged him to say, hey, I should show people what I am doing in the community. Because I know that there were some memes out that basically were like ridiculing Michael Jordan about, you know, him selling J's, but not having a school and not really giving back. So I think this was probably his platform when he said, like, look, I do give back and this is what I'm doing. Right. And it's great to give back to a clinic, but I just think a school is just so much more powerful because of the information and education that he can give these kids that probably wouldn't have it, you know?
Right. So shout out Bron. Let's give him one more round of applause.
Probably the last one that we
the last one for the basketball season start.
I'm not trashing that, man. Y'all go ahead.
And then we're going to give one more.
You got to have balance, like a Libra skin.
I'm a Derrick Rose fan, by the way.
Is his ACL still around?
So shout out to Bron Bron.
No clue.
So let's go from athletes doing great in their communities to athletes not doing so great. The Dallas Cowboys.
That's wild.
Out here wilding, getting in line, toes on the line, as Jerry Jones would say. You got your boy Dak Prescott. Brandi, your boy Dak.
Dirty
Dak. He's out here wilding.
Yeah. He got that light skin syndrome.
I had the clip of it, of what he said. Pretty much he was asked during the press conference, because Jerry Jones had already said that toes on the line,
we're not
some
doing
good
that
old
here.
boys. We know we standing up for this anthem.
America's team.
And so he had his quarterback, the face of the America's team, echo that pretty much. And
no, I never protest. I never protest during the anthem, and I don't think that's the time or the venue to do so. The game of football is always, when you bring such a controversy to the stadium, to the field, to the game, it takes away. It takes away from that. It takes away from the joy and to the love that football brings a lot of people. And so for me, I'm all about making a change, making a difference. And I think this whole kneeling and all that was all about just raising awareness, and the fact that we're still talking about social injustice years later, I think
I just threw up in the back of my throat. Like right here.
It was like it was like a Fox News.
It's like out of touch. Out of touch as fuck.
Brandi, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like, because I listened to it and everything, and so I felt like he started to backpedal in the end.
Yeah, he realized what he was doing.
He did backpedal.
Yeah, like he's like, oh shit,
You're like, damn, I just said
this
what I
is
said.
what I'm saying.
I'm sounding like a coon right now.
It's like you're reading something, you don't really know what it is until you start saying it.
He should have said.
And now it's like, oh, I got to double back, because I don't want to offend anybody. Like, I don't want to offend my other brothers in the locker room.
That's what I was about to say.
So, I think to begin the statement, he should have said, well, Jerry told me to tell you.
Right.
The master said.
And then go into his speech. But yeah, you got to go back to the locker room. One, to a bunch of black guys that's like, oh, what the fuck? Whether they're saying it or they're kneeling.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of people don't want to lose their jobs. I don't get it, but I kind of get it. But at the same time, the backlash of your own community, knowing that you just said that shit, eventually them checks gonna run dry. It's the NFL is a business. So you probably got yourself, 3 years as a quarterback from bootlicking, and then now once they trade you as the Cowboys.
But there's no loyalty. Look what
right.
they did to Dez. I mean, Dez was always Jerry's boy.
Yep.
And look what they did to him.
Right.
So
First
you out of
chance
here.
they got.
Exactly.
You out of here. So why you?
And he was the same one. I'm not going to protest. I have to feed my family. All of this other stuff. So there is no loyalty, especially with owners such as him, because he's running a slave plantation at the end of the day.
And then Zeke was echoing him too. Like so.
And he's the last one that needs OHIO, always from our Ohio State.
That's who you backing now.
But
y'all looking real funny right now.
I'm a buck out, But I mean, hey,
shaky.
Hey, that's.
But
at least I know that, that's the nature of the beast. Like, shit's gonna happen. But what I think is like for you to say, well, this isn't the time to do it. Well, when is the time? Because nobody has a problem with wearing pink all fucking October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Not a bad thing, but I'm sorry, they're getting money from Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Talk to 'em.
So that's why it's something that's important to them. Just like the whole flag thing. I mean, we've already talked about this in the millions of dollars that, the U.S. military gives, the Department of Defense gives to the NFL for this. Exactly. Yep. And even for domestic violence, we saw how there were commercials, and domestic violence has been going on in sports and in the NFL for a long time. I mean,
continue.
So exactly. So for me, it's just like, because there's no money filtered in to these protests and backed up by it, that's why it's not concerning for them. And because at the end of the day, these 32 owners are not black or brown, so they don't care. It's not something they have to deal with every day.
Oh, they don't give a fuck at all.
It should, if you really cared about your players and you really cared about making a change. And so
can I play devil's advocate real quick? So going off of Dak's statements, one of the things that he said was that I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Play the clip again. You need to play the clip again.
No, he said that the kneeling was done 2 years ago, and it was done to raise awareness to social injustices. What it has accomplished, now it's time to move on. Like I said, he doesn't echo my opinion, but I'm saying this is what he said. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Top 5 dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Does he have a point by saying, hey, Colin kneeled to bring awareness to these social injustices? These social injustices have been brought to light for the most part. So we're talking about it a lot more. Now, can we move past? This was just a small part. Yeah. This is step one. Now let's move on to step two, which is action.
No, because the NFL has not fucking done what they said, which was with their conversations with Malcolm Jenkins and the rest of the guys that were on like the board, to encourage awareness for these things. Oh, we're going to give money back to communities where we feel as though could benefit from more education and social awareness and whatnot, police brutalities, etc.
Right.
Where the fuck is the money?
I mean,
we haven't seen it. We haven't seen anything implemented. It's all talk, no show. And that's why these guys are still deciding that they will protest. And I feel like it was just a Band-Aid and a pacifier to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Right. And as long as we tell them that we're going to do it, then we won't have the protest anymore. Yeah. But as you can see, that's why the players' union's doing what they're doing as far as taking a stance against things, because there's like, it's all a mouthpiece and it's all a showpiece, but nothing's coming to fruition.
NFL only caring about money,
right?
But piggybacking off your statements, I think it's that, and in addition to that, it's not only did Kaepernick want to bring awareness to social injustice and how the police treat people of color more aggressively than others, but he wanted action as well. So we have awareness, and now we need action. We need some kind of
where
laws
the fuck
put
are the
in
players
place.
that's supposed to be going to meet with Trump for the clemency. I ain't heard shit else about that.
Yeah, bringing up. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it has to be. Both parties have to be held accountable. Like, and I think one of the biggest things that I didn't like about the protest was when Trump got involved, and then you started seeing players that didn't originally kneel for what Kaepernick was fighting for, kneeling because they wanted to just piss Trump off.
Jerry Jones kneeled.
I know, but I'm talking about so it's kind of like
he did the dumbest kneel though. He kneeled like after the anthem with the team. It's like a total.
I mean, it was
lip service.
But that's what
exactly.
I'm like. But he said, don't kneel. Then your dumbass kneeling. Now he said nobody can kneel no more.
But then he didn't take off his hat when they were playing the national anthem.
I mean, Trump didn't put his hand over his heart during the national anthem.
It all points to these
times.
motherfuckers don't give a fuck about America. They give a fuck about their pockets and shit affecting their pockets.
Right.
Jerry Jones don't give a shit
politics.
about
it's turning the base on. You know.
And I hate when people say, don't bring politics to work. Like, that shit happens over the water cooler. So what are we talking about?
Life.
And the moment you play the
find
national anthem, it's political.
Yeah, or you should find somewhere else to protest. But we don't have a problem with teachers protesting in the middle of the streets because they want their wages increased, which they should be.
They should be.
But we don't have a problem with union workers protesting at I mean, even in Baltimore, we saw that. Jamel and I used to work at Horseshoe together, and there were union workers protesting outside of Horseshoe. Yeah. Were we going to tell them, oh, you're wrong for that? That's their right.
Right.
But protests, people, I don't think
and
people know
what the protest.
Peaceful protests are not supposed to be convenient.
Exactly.
Right. That's supposed to block highways.
They should be in a corner somewhere. Don't bother me.
Like, hey,
let's go protest
tell
over
me
there.
your problems like over there, no, further back.
Right. So I can't hear you.
Yeah, and just shut the fuck up.
You're messing with my game. So that was my issue
in your face.
That was my issue with Dak, was that not that he had an opinion on the protest, was that pretty much he was echoing the opinions of that racist fan base. Is that don't bring politics into it. Said you're taking away from what I love. I do this as an escape from reality, and now you're bringing politics into it. I'm like, come on, dude. Like you're not really thinking like that.
Martin Luther King thought about that when they were doing sit-ins, like, oh, we shouldn't disturb their meal. They're sitting there, and we don't want to fuck up that shit. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be upfront. It's supposed to make you think about these issues.
Right.
That's the way you create change, is bringing awareness to it. And until there is some type of significant change in the policies and how police interact with people of color, we're going to keep fucking doing this shit.
And people need to start doing their fucking research, because I'm tired of people making comments about, well, what are you doing? These athletes are doing a lot. Right. They're giving up their paychecks, okay? They're giving up their time. They're giving up their money. Their money. And they're giving up their sense of security at some rate, because they have a cause that they want to fight for. And it's not just for themselves. It's for their families. It's for their communities. It's for, the people that stand next to them that look like them. Right. So I think that people need to understand that.
I think they say, what are you doing? Is because they don't know that people are actively doing these things. They think it's just a quick way to dismiss an argument.
They just think black people complaining about shit.
Exactly. It's all fucking us bitching.
That's the thing though too. So like when athletes, they got to pay taxes just like everybody else. So the same people that saying you don't give a fuck about the country, if you don't like it, leave. Those athletes that are bringing in $1 million contracts are also paying a shit ton in taxes, more than all of those 50%.
But they're contributing citizens.
So they're contributing to the government. They're contributing to this country. So they do have every right to speak. And then two, I can 95% of these athletes, especially the stars, have foundations in their communities. Yep. Even the players that aren't big role players have a foundation or a kid's football camp, or even after practice where they're practicing in fucking 90-degree weather, they're still going over and shaking a little kid's hand and signing autographs and stuff like that and taking pictures with people. So like to try to play it as football players, basketball players, athletes in general aren't appreciating these large contracts is just crazy. They're doing more than the regular citizen. They're doing what the regular citizen is doing times 3 because they have this money, but they're paying taxes. And they have something.
Think about like the NFL and the NBA, where it's predominantly black sports, and they don't come from the best environments. I think like if that were one of us and we made it, we would want to give back because we feel appreciative of what we have and what we came. Yeah, we have an obligation.
I want to move on to just your quick thoughts on what just happened recently with Colin Kaepernick getting X'd out of getting bleeped out of Madden 19 like a fucking curse word. Like just your hot take on that, and then we can move on.
I tweeted it about it is because
what's that?
A tweet. Twiddle.
Tweet.
But I just saw it as another bumbling the NFL has over every fucking situation. Every situation they seem to mishandle. Whoever is the head of decisions up there, motherfucker, Roger Goodell, whoever so be it, like, dude, you are fucking up at every end. The way you handle domestic violence, the way you handle the Colin Kaepernick thing, everything. I personally thought the NFL, the best way they can handle this situation with the whole protest is just come out and say, hey, we are Americans. We support the First Amendment. We support every player standing or doing whatever they do in a peaceful and respectful manner during the national anthem because we believe in the First Amendment. Leave it at that.
Hey, Brandi, quick thoughts on Colin Kaepernick getting... Right, trash, right? That's like low key like some fascism shit. Like
that's like
anybody that's standing up against the First Amendment gets bleeped out like a curse word,
from
like
every book in history.
Well, right, and that's what's so fucking funny about it, because like the new Madden commercial just came out, and there's a bunch of black dudes, rappers, football players. It's so influenced by the black culture, but then you bleep out Colin Kaepernick. It's a mind fuck.
They're buffets, mentality. So we want to take what we want from their culture,
right?
The stuff that we like, and we want to benefit off of it. But the other stuff you can fucking keep because we don't want it.
We don't. No, I can't have an opinion, but we like that culture though.
Right.
Y'all look cool.
Give me some of that culture, but don't have an opinion.
Right.
All right, so moving on. I think a couple weeks ago, somebody was trying to extort Odell Beckham.
Really?
Somebody was trying to extort him for something he did, and also they said he was trying to pay for sex, like. He's trying to spend a stack on a girl for some pussy.
Everybody pay for pussy.
It brought me to the question, like, like the sky's blue, grass is green, dudes pay for pussy. Like
water has 2 oxygens.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So
shit.
Is that really news? Like,
no,
dudes paying for pussy? Like,
no, but because he's an athlete,
either directly or indirectly, don't we all pay for pussy?
You're damn right we do. Like
every day.
Would you ever directly do it, Austin?
Why you gonna put this shit straight on?
Because I'm looking at you right now. You're directly to my right, and I'm looking at you. Because I know you probably do it too.
Yeah. It depends on the.
Probably would. Yeah, yes, nigga, you would do that shit.
You never know when you're in a situation.
If you're like a millionaire dude and you fucking
that's what I'm saying.
I got a rack to fuck off.
Right.
Probably.
But I celebrities do it all the time because girls know how much money they make. So like, I'm not gonna give it up for a fucking date at Applebee's or with Mr. Childs, whoever the fuck y'all going to. Yeah, you're gonna have to trick some money off. I need a bag or something.
Conversation goes a long way.
Not when you're an athlete.
That's wasting time.
They know they can Google
money,
your salary. You can't Google my salary. It's too low.
Right.
It's like this nigga. It's gonna say broke. It's gonna like this nigga broke. Don't waste your time.
Error message.
Your search is not
so
found.
Mike, would you pay for pussy? You going to Dominican Republic and you
nigga,
looking off that menu?
You damn right.
I was actually going to
if
the
I had
bunny ranch,
Odell bread, and if I was single, shout out to Sarah.
We have those in.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to Vegas next week.
As when I was younger, like
saving up for the bunny.
You got cash.
When I was younger, I always thought about it. I was like, there's no way I would ever do that. Like, that's crazy. Like, my words too slick. You know what I'm saying? No, the mouth game too crazy. Like, I would never have to trick money. But then you get older and you start thinking, it's like, women put you through a lot of bullshit sometimes to have sex. Is that right, Brandi? To put you a lot of bullshit. Yeah. So if I can just cut the middleman out, if I can cut the dates out, I can cut the acting like I care about how your day was out.
Let's just get straight to the point.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? How much is it? $500? Okay, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I would do it right now, but I can understand why guys do it. Like, it's understandable now that you're older.
That's a lie. Nigga said he wouldn't do it right now.
I wouldn't do it right now. I feel like I can still. I feel like I can still finesse it without tricking, without just.
It ain't tricking if you got it right.
I ain't got it.
And that's the thing. I know, but that's the thing too. If you have a lot of money, like
that shit means nothing.
Right.
Means nothing. Both parties leave happy.
Yeah.
And it is a business transaction.
It's a pride thing for some dudes too. It's like, why do I gotta pay? Like, I'm saying, like, I want to do it off the strength of my game or something like that.
Like, nigga, your game ain't that strong.
Not for like athletes. Like, they already know how much you're making.
I don't know. I don't think we can. I mean, like you said, there's no way really around it to have to come out of pocket whether it's a relationship, you guys are dating, you guys are talking, whatever. I mean, you're not just walking into the room, sleep with a bunch of women, and walking out, and that's it. Some kind of way you're paying for and it's the other way around. Women gotta pay for companionship, not money wise, but just like
with the pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Some dudes, some girls like to just be around a certain dude, and then she knows that the only way that he's gonna come up, get in his car, drive to you, or take you out is if he knows at the end of the day he fucking.
He gonna teabag you.
And your Timbs, right?
And the Timbs though.
With the socks on.
Gotta keep the socks on, man.
You can't keep the socks on. That's
you can't wear Timbs no socks and fuck.
Yeah, because
you can't wear Timbs at all.
You can give yourself calluses.
Yeah, you can. If you fucking with Timbs,
the South slots.
Yeah,
socks.
Slacks.
Gotta keep your
kick
especially in the winter time.
shoes on.
Thing, ain't it?
In the winter time.
Slouch socks
or bobos. You ever fuck the girl?
Bobos.
What the fuck are bobos?
With the stripes.
Yeah,
you wore bobos, dude.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you stayed in the house. I forgot.
Oh yeah,
he stayed in the house.
I was outside selling crack cocaine. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, okay.
They called me Chapo Jr. in the streets.
Oh my God.
Definitely, they definitely called me that.
Is it segment 5 yet?
But I understand, Brandi, you had a question for us that you brought to us that you want to...
Oh, yeah. So my question, I know last time we got into a real good one. This one
we tried to. Mike was...
I don't remember that happening.
Drunk.
Berta Randama. Yeah. So easy one. Would you rather take $300,000 cash or 850 credit score?
850 credit score.
Nah, 300,000 because you make an 850 credit score with 300,000.
Yeah, you could probably pay some debts off and get that credit score anyway,
and make a nice investment to build your credit.
But I mean, that money would be taxed, so.
You ain't say that. You said 300,000. So now it's 150,000.
That's 150. But even with 150, you can still do a lot and set yourself up.
Oh yeah, I can get my
850 credit score. You can live like you have $300,000.
But then you'll be in debt.
Well, yeah, you
can pay your debts off, and then
I'm not one for. I think the whole credit score system is such bullshit because there's no way you can look at me as an individual from a number that's calculated.
You really can. You really can. Now you can really by looking at somebody's credit score. I used to think the same thing. I mean, there's always a story behind it as to why your credit, because it could be a really small portion of your life where you fucked up and your credit score just tanked.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give you the whole story, but at the same time, if you're looking at somebody's credit history and you're seeing that constantly, always later, you kind of get a sense of what their character is. You know what I'm saying? And
fuck you. You don't know me.
Yo,
you don't know me, nigga.
That's the banking. That's the banking.
I know shit about you, dog.
Nigga, don't talk to me about credit score.
If you had the 300,000 though, like, would you really pay off all your debts, or would you put the money towards other things?
I'm paying my debts.
I'm paying my debts, but that depends on the person you're speaking to. Like I hate owing people.
I'm gonna fucking splurge too.
I'm gonna fuck off 10,000. Right. Don't get me wrong.
But we gonna pay some bills off.
But you can lose the 850 credit score as fast as you can lose the 300.
Right, that's true.
If not faster. So
and if you have
that's a tough question.
Yeah, you asked the banker and shit.
Yeah, you got me
talking about FICA scores and shit. This nigga about to really deep dive into that shit.
Which credit bureau is calling the 850? Is it Equifax?
Oh, this
TransUnion.
Doesn't matter.
It depends.
I'm gonna do a stab in the dark and say TransUnion. There you go.
Okay, that weighs a little bit more, but I might go with the. I don't know. I might.
That's
cash
money
on deck.
That's a tough question, man. Because like I tell people all the time, man, you can literally live a different life you can make $20,000 and ball out like you make $80,000.
Oh yeah, you get credit cards out the ass.
Credit cards out the ass.
But that's why I'm so dissuaded by the whole situation. Because if I'm getting credit cards, I'm owing. I'm owing.
You're gonna eventually gonna be in a debt, but you're gonna have that.
Well, no. So you can buy. So here's a perfect example. So you can have $300,000 and have shitty credit, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go to the car dealership and buy a Maserati. So you buy a Maserati, you have shitty credit. If you don't buy, let's say the Maserati is more than $300,000, since your interest rate is going to be so fucking high, you're going to be paying a car note of $500. But if you have good credit and low interest, then you will be paying a monthly
or
payment.
You can go
to
the auction with 2 racks and get something that's yours.
Right.
I just said the car that you
want. If I have a good credit
score,
I can get a credit card that's $100,000 that's not my money, and I got to pay back at a certain interest rate. If I have a good credit score, I can get a house that I don't own until I fully pay it off.
But you gonna get a low interest. You won't be paying $1,000.
I think that mindset like boggles me. Like it's owing somebody money. I don't want to owe
starting this
somebody
debate about
$100,000 fucking
FICA
dollars.
score.
Everybody check your
somebody
credit score, Credit Karma, you know.
Like if
build
I
your
have
credit.
so if I get a $150,000 house, right, with my good credit score,
Right.
and I have to pay back $150,000, or I can get the 300 racks, cut that in half with taxes, that's $150, and buy a house for $20,000-$30,000 and just live off that. Like, I prefer owning my own shit. I don't like owing niggas money or owing whatever institution that's fucking TransUnion certified money.
I'm just saying it like the.
Can we get into these Kobe questions? We got to have a fucking business.
We'll talk after the show, nigga.
Fuck you, credit.
Bad credit, motherfucker.
All Ravens fans here, right?
It's getting better. I did it.
You guys watch the Ravens game last?
Right. Yeah. I'm so excited.
You so excited? Why you excited?
Because game 9, nigga, Flacco sitting the fuck down, dog. It's Purple
it's
Friday.
like by 9 he's gone.
Right.
No, I got him making it the whole season. They don't want to waste that $20 million.
No, Lamar's not ready yet.
No.
RG3 looked good though.
Yeah, he did
look good.
He was moving the offense.
Perryman didn't help him out, but
that first
Trash, man. He's god.
Yo,
right through his house. Like, here we go again.
Like when we were in Nashville and we saw the Ravens play the Titans, when Mel and I were sitting together, like Perryman made a really good catch, and then we looked at each other like, nigga, that's the only one for the whole game. Like, don't throw to him again.
Right.
Flacco threw to the nigga the next play, interception. He like
off his hands.
off his hands.
Like usual.
His hands. It wasn't off his hands. It was literally through his hands. He had the perfect form, and it went through his fucking hands. Like, yeah, it's trash, bro.
Butterfingers. That's where it comes from.
So
Brandi, what do you take? What's your take on the Ravens? How did they look? Did you watch the game? Or you flying?
I watched the game. I watched the game. They looked good. I mean, I'm one of those people, like, I got to see a couple of more games. I mean, I'd rather see RG3 in than Flacco, just because I feel like there needs to be some newness to things. And Joe is just flat. However, we've seen last time that when it comes to him playing for money, he performs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then the other variable comes in of, are we going to see, a Super Bowl type of Joe where he kind of makes a run, has his head in the game, because now he knows that he's playing for a contract. And whether it be a contract in Baltimore or a contract with another team, he's still going to be playing for a contract. And you have to also remember, now he's not a quarterback that's never been injured. Yeah. So he has that injury on him too, which is, kind of like a tarnish for him. Yeah. Right. So for you to, you got the Super Bowl, but you also have the injuries. You haven't done anything since the Super Bowl.
So best case scenario is like fucking at the end of the season, we see playoff Joe throughout the whole season, and we in title contention, and then we cut his ass after. Like, we're done, nigga.
He's been done. Once they drafted Lamar, he was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then I heard that, when Lamar came into the locker room and whatnot, like, he
didn't respond back to his text message.
What are you talking about, like in the beginning or after
the
Hall of Fame game?
He hasn't been very forthcoming as far as like extend the olive branch to say, hey,
I was taking my job. Fuck you.
He had the Brett Favre mentality as opposed to.
He is taking your job, but Joe, like.
I mean, Joe's not like that.
If you step up and show improve, then you should be great. You should be good, right?
It's not like him. This is the first time he's ever had competition.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I feel like he was probably one of the people like, no, we don't need Cap. Because he knew that it was going to be competition. I don't think that Cap would have came in and took his job. I think that he knew that it could be a possibility later on in the season where he wouldn't be performing. And now his job is threatened. But, like, you're a fucking quarterback. You threaten somebody else's job. Poor Troy, he didn't even get a chance.
Troy's got tonsillitis. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
But
he mysteriously got sick, and then here comes Joe.
He's spitting that man potatoes.
Joe got the cake.
Sounds about white.
So speaking of competition, you think Kobe's gonna have any competition if he goes to the big three?
No, nigga. If Kobe goes to the big three, he averaging 50
Kobe is
a
out
game.
of shape, nigga. So yes,
I take an out of shape Kobe.
He got titties just like us.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Kobe
picture. That was an old picture. He don't look like that no more.
Kobe got man titties now.
Kobe out of shape, man. Ice Cube gonna give him a run for his money now.
Oh, word.
Nigga, don't disrespect Kobe like that. Kobe coming off the nigga. Kobe could step into the big three with a beer belly and outscore all them niggas. Steven Jackson was selling chicken in the sidelines of one of them games.
Deshaun Stevenson is better than Kobe at this point.
Nigga, Deshaun Stevenson is.
Did you guys see the Big Three game with Meta World Peace? Ron Artest. The Ron Artest came out of that game because he did not want to get out of the game. So they're like telling him
he wouldn't get subbed out.
Yeah, they're like, come on, like you got to
tell him to get out.
I mean, he wound up doing it, but it was just like, he was like, no, I want to play. But I like the big three. I mean, I like the concept. I think that, once we see them a few years later down the line, it's going to be even bigger and better. Right. They have a good product. Yep. Right. They have good players. I wish it would have worked out with AI, where he could have been more a part of it. But, he's AI, so he was worried about getting drunk, gambling at the casino versus, being a part of it. But I think that they have a great product, and I enjoy watching it, so...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a great time because you get the nostalgia of the old players, and then you get to see a level of competition too. Yeah, because they still want to win, they still can play hard. It's just
I wouldn't mind seeing Kobe, and I think it would be good for the ratings. I think it would also be good for fans to see too, because a lot of, for me, I miss watching him play because I watched him for so long. So now to not see him on the court is a little bit different.
I gotta let it go, man. I'm about to because it's crazy because it's still Kobe fans. This nigga been retired for 2 years.
Nigga, Kobe,
he's gone. Y'all gotta love somebody.
What happened when he left?
He's not coming back. Let it go.
I mean, he's not coming back, and I got to watch him.
His wife said he's not coming back either. Vanessa said he's not coming back.
She needs to stay off social media.
Because they were asking, they were like, "Will he come back to play with Bron?" He's like, "Nah, he being with his family. She's
like, he wants to be with his family, and he doesn't like the." First of all, the answers sound like all the things she fucking wanted.
Right. Happy wife, happy life. If wife said you ain't coming back, then you ain't coming back.
But I mean, it just the way she said it. She just should have said no, he's happy enjoying retired life.
Ain't playing 2K
she's talking about travel time.
She wears the pants in that relationship. It's Vanessa. That's why you can't have no sons, because she won't allow it. You want all daughters.
All girls.
That's the funniest part too. Kobe's not coming back, and he not having a son.
Steph's trying for a son too. Steph and Kobe going to get a boy. They will keep fucking till they get a boy.
Yeah, that's true. Steph is trying for a boy. So, to wrap it up, guys.
Wrap it up.
Definitely don't wrap it up.
No, definitely don't wrap it up.
Fuck that shit.
Ever.
That shit for suckers.
Don't ever play yourself.
That shit turkey bacon.
Oh my god.
What do you guys plans for this? What do you guys plans for this weekend?
Nothing, nigga. I'm working.
You're not going to the Summer Spirit Festival?
No, what the fuck is that?
At Meriwether Post Pavilion?
Fuck no.
That's too
Featuring
far.
Nas, Method Man, Redman.
Oh, that's awesome, boy.
Badu,
I mean, got tickets.
Daniel Caesar.
Yeah, you the plug. You got tickets.
What's up? Shit. I got $5 on it.
I'm not going.
Yeah. I gotta see that. See, they don't even promote that shit. I would have definitely go to see.
Yeah, it's on the radio. I heard it when I was flying in.
You don't listen to the radio no more? You still listen to the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Was it 92Q? Because
I can't remember what station it was. I was in the
Uber.
I was in the Uber.
That's all you listen.
And but they were playing it. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
I have a full weekend. My son started football.
Yeah.
Oh, how was that, yo? How was that?
5 years in the making, man. Ever since that sonogram came up and his dick was there, and I was like,
I knew.
All right, it's time for football. I have a son, and I'm waiting to the day where he puts the helmet on. I can teach him and throw the football around and make him a Raven and he bleeds purple and all that shit.
What position you want him to play? Or do you see him playing? Does he like it? Agile, can he make cuts? What are you doing?
Me personally, that I've seen him play, he's 5 years old, so he's in practice. He's doing the basic shit. They have him on fucking line. Jalen's 30, 40 pounds. You'd be killed on line. But that's the way you learn the base. That's where I started at. When I first played football, I was on D-line fucking shit up.
No, he wasn't.
I was fucking shit up. Austin, tell him I was fucking shit up.
No, it's trash.
He wasn't.
He was the hydration coordinator
because he was on the bench.
Life.
But
was you on the bench?
Austin was on the bench when he played. But anyway.
First of all, he was a seat warmer. Don't disrespect him.
But yeah, my thing is, I'm getting the rest of his gear for football. He gonna be that kid. With all the fucking accessories.
Yo, this is what I wanted to ask you. This is what I want to ask.
He that kid.
What kind of dad are you?
He has the mouthpiece. He has the mouthpiece. He's going to get the visor. He's going to get some gloves and all that shit.
What kind of parent are you during these games?
I can see myself.
Losing your shit?
I'm not the losing my shit, but I'm going to be up on the fence. I'm be locked in. I'm be looking at him the fuck are you doing?
How much you want to bet? $20 he's going off at the ref.
Oh, yeah, I can see myself doing
I've been kicked out of games before.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
my brothers. Yeah, kicked out.
Kicked out.
Give me kicked out of the gym, basketball games, and everything.
I'm taking them to see Teen Titans go. Also, you saw that shit too, right?
Well, that's a good movie.
The live action shit about to drop too, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Brandi? More acrimony.
Acronym.
Oh, Akron. Oh, I was saying any date nights going on.
I'm too broke to date, man.
Night.
Dates for rich people.
Better pay for that pussy.
That's it for us. I think that wraps up episode 16 of the Hunt Club podcast. Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Brandi, thank you for joining us again. You know you're always welcome.
Always good to
friend of the show.
come out.
Whenever you come back to the East Coast, so you're always welcome.
I already know.
Any outro?
I got an outro.
And Mike is still sober.
Right. Gotta fuck y'all, we out?
Hey, I'm fuck y'all, we out. I know. It's like, I ain't gonna try it. What song is this?